Have you ever wondered why Waltware's beats feel so catchy and emotional? Today I'm going to break down the exact elements that makes his sound so powerful. We'll cook up a Waltware style plain melody from scratch, layer it with the right textures, and then reveal the secrets behind these drums that most producers overlook. Stick with me, because by the end you will understand how to get the same emotional sound in your beats. So let's hop right into it. The real success of Waltware's songs isn't just his voice, it's the emotional production behind it. His beats set the mood and they always express pain and emotion. To achieve that, Waltware's beats always have one main instrument, the piano. His piano melodies sound really complicated, but they are not. The magic is in how simple chord progressions and rhythms are played in a way that pulls you at your emotions. Let me show you exactly how it works. There are many ways to create emotional chord progressions, but Waltware's leans into one very common one, the walk down chord progression. So basically this is what I mean. First you select the key up here, in my case it's D minor. Now all you have to do is just place a note and just walk down the scale like this. And now after we build some chords around it, this is what it sounds like. And from there you can either go back up the scale like this, or just repeat the same thing again. Another thing you can do is also just flip these two, so instead of walking down the scale, you just walk up the scale like this. And already that creates a sad emotional feeling. But the real secret is in the rhythm. Most producers play their chords straight like this. But this sounds boring and repetitive. But watch what happens when I change up the timing, add a bit of swing and quantize it a bit differently. And now this feels alive and much more emotional. So to recreate the rhythm, you basically just go up here into Quantize tool, put it into half beat and just copy the settings like this. And now basically with the metronome you have something that sounds like this. Much more rhythm, much more emotional. And once we got the rhythm locked in, we can add variations. For example, you can take the root notes like so and just duplicate them an octave below. After that, you can just take the middle note like so and just invert them into a higher octave. And this is what it sounds like. Now all you have to do is to play this one live. You get the human feel. And the last thing you want to do is you just want to repeat some notes from the chords to add a bit more bounce and rhythm and emotion to it. Listen to this. This is much deeper than what we started with. But Waltware's melodies don't stop at just piano. To make them hit harder, he layers the chords with some ambient sounds like pads and keys. So first I grabbed some keys from Analog Lab to layer them on top of the piano. This adds texture and makes the piano feel a bit more powerful. And then I added the pad. And most people would just grab a simple sine wave pad and call it a day. But that sounds static and boring. But I wanted to go for a pad which has more movement and texture. Something like this. You can hear the movement and the texture especially in the longer notes like this. This gives the melody much more emotion while keeping it simple. So when you hold the note like this pad shifts and moves. It's that kind of detail what makes the atmosphere feel alive. But with the next step you can get this feeling to a whole new level. Waterways beats almost always include some vocal phrases. These are a big factor to instantly grab attention from your listeners. So I found a vocal on Splice that fits perfectly with this melody. But raw vocals like this don't usually blend in right away. So I went in through my filtered R&B preset to shape it. Much better, and suddenly the beat feels way more emotional and closer to Roadwave style. But without the following element, you will never get the true Roadwave feeling. So even with piano, keys, pads and vocals, the melody still feels a bit empty. And that's where a sub-bass comes in. Roadwave's bass lines aren't complicated at all. They usually just follow the root notes of the chords. That way the low end feels full while letting the piano and the vocals shine on top. So to do that I went into Contact, the Scubby Wickenbacker bass, and I choose the second one right here, which is a bit better. Now I went to the presets and I chose Night Session. And this is what it sounds like. Instantly the track feels more complete and grounded. And with the last element you will make your melody stand out a lot more. Now to really stand out, Roadways beats usually always have one more layer, usually some sort of guitar or synth lead. It's simple, but it gives the melody some identity. So I grabbed a synth lead from Analog Lab and I just slid my fingers across the keyboard like this. And then I processed it with my go-to lead preset like this. Now, if you like the sound of that, you're gonna love my FL Mixer Toolkit. It's an FL Studio mixer preset kit for industry-level R&B and soul effects to level up your melodies with nearly stock and free plugins that turns your sounds from boring and dry to interesting and high quality by just dragging and dropping a preset into your mixer. All effects are stock and free, but you will need Guitar Wake for some guitar effects, as you can see right here. And if you get this kit now, you will also unlock 2 full courses on everything I know about R&B and soul sample. From sound selection, chord progressions to sound combinations for industry level samples. And a full producer guide for easy access to all the information I mentioned in the course. I want you to invest in yourself and know the reason behind certain decisions, and not just what to do. Now click the link below if you're interested and use the code VINTAGE for 20% off. I would recommend it to everyone looking for a quick and easy upgrade to their melodies. And now here's the full melodies with all the layers together. And now let's get into the drums. Just 5 or 6 sounds. No more.
Pause. As I said, simplicity is key. Like most of the beats I placed with rappers, it's always like 5 or 6 sounds and never more.
So I started with a basic snare pattern, and then I added hi-hats to give it some rhythm. Now I wanted to add some bounce to this beat, but I also want to leave some space for the artist. So instead of making a busy snare pattern like this, I decided to take a simpler whim or clap sound to give it the extra bounce, while leaving some space for the artist. Next, Roadways producers tells us he uses 2 open heads in his beats.
Like for the second part, came in with the open head. I used 2 different open heads. One is the Uzi open head, and then the second open head.
This might seem like a small detail, but it keeps the beat from feeling repetitive and gives it some variation. And finally, the 808. Roadway's producer go-to is the Spins 808.
So I always start with the 808. That's my go-to 808, the Wheezy Spins.
So I added it following the melody rhythm and driving the beat forward, keeping it strong but not overpowering it. And now, before I show you the final beat, make sure you smash that like button if you learned something new, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos, and grab the Mixer Toolkit with the link below. Now thanks for watching, and let's see each other in the next one. Bye.